Hey folks, in this video we are going to be learning how to compose a multi-condition lookup in Google Sheets. Unfortunately, this solution is not applicable to other spreadsheet software such as Microsoft's Excel. So if you are working in Excel, this will not work for you. The structure of the video is as follows. I'm going to do a demonstration where I show you how to accomplish this. Then afterwards, I'm going to break it down so that you have deeper insight so that you can apply it to your own application. The situation that we're dealing with here is that we have a workbook with 2 tabs and 2 data tables. The first tab is called Amount, which has 4 data columns, 3 metadata columns, company, country, and month, and a number column called Amount. We have a second tab called Inventory, which has the exact same layout as the Amount table. However, instead of having a value called Amount, we now have something called Inventory. Our goal is to join the Inventory table with the Amount table. We're going to begin by going to the Amount tab. We're going to be using 3 functions in order to accomplish our goal. The first is an array formula. The second is if error for error management. And the third is VLOOKUP. We're going to begin by hitting the equal sign and typing out array formula. I'm going to hit Command Enter in order to get a line break. I'm on a Mac. If you're using Windows, I don't know how to get a line break, but I would presume that if you try hitting Control and Enter, it might result in the line break. The reason that I like to have line breaks is because it enables me to reference line numbers. So we're currently on line 2, and it also makes it more readable so that I can scan my work when looking for bugs and ways to correct errors. We're then going to enter in if error, and I'm going to hit Command Enter, and then we're going to use VLOOKUP. I'm going to hit Command Enter to move to the 4th line. So the first thing that we're going to enter is our search key. So we are going to use a concatenated collection of the first 3 columns. So we're going to select company. I'm going to use an ampersand. We're going to select country. We're going to use an ampersand. And then we're going to select month. And now we have a concatenated value that combines company, country, and month. We're going to use a comma, and we're going to move on to the second argument of the VLOOKUP. So we're going to hit Command Enter, and we're going to use curly bracket. Within Google Sheets, you can construct an array using curly brackets. So we are going to create a virtual table of the Inventory tab so that we have technically structured data that we can use with our VLOOKUP function. We're going to select our Inventory tab, and then we are going to select column A, and we're going to use an ampersand. We're going to select column B, and we're going to use an ampersand. And then we're going to select column C. At this time, we are going to enter a comma, and then we are going to select column D. We are going to use an ending curly bracket, and then we're going to enter a comma to move on to the third argument of our VLOOKUP. I'm going to hit Command Enter. At this point, we're going to enter the column of the value that we want to return. So our virtual first column is a concatenated company, country, and month. And our second column is inventory. So we're going to enter in 2. We're going to add a comma to move to the final argument in our VLOOKUP, which is the index and whether it's sorted. So we're going to say false. I apologize, I misspoke. This isn't the index portion. This is the is sorted argument, and we are saying that it is not sorted, so we're just going to enter false. And we can just hit enter, and now you can see that we have 10987 as our inventory amount for Apple, US, and month of January 2024. So when we go in here, we see that that is the correct amount. Now you'll notice that the ordering is sorted. So just so that you can see, I'm going to move this all the way down here in the inventory tab so that now January 2024 is the furthest thing down on the list. And you'll see that it remains unaffected. So let's discuss what's going on in here. Our array formula is allowing us to reference the entirety of the inventory columns. So we're in our VLOOKUP here where we have A2 through B2 and C2. We are referencing a single instance that we want to look up. But in order to look up the entirety of the inventory table, we need this array formula in order to return all the values in column A, all the values in column B, all the values in column C. So if I removed this array formula, I hit enter, you'll see that I'm getting an error. So I didn't enter in this is in the if error here. You can, if you leave it blank, it'll just return blank, or you could say, this doesn't work. So in order to implement this, you can see that this is the closing curly bracket or the closing parentheses for the VLOOKUP, and then you add in a comma, and then the second is what the second argument is what's returned if you get an error. So you can see we now get an error because the array formula isn't in there. So that's why that first function that we used needs to be an array formula. Now, the cool thing about the array formula, I'm going to go off on a bit of a tangent here, but we can also use the array formula in order to look up all of the values using one function. So I'm going to highlight all this, and I'm going to remove it. And I'm going to paste it into cell E1. And instead of looking up A2, B2, and C2, I'm going to do A through A, B through B, C through C. And I'm going to hit enter, and then check it out. I've now programmatically looked up all of the values. So, you know, again, this is sorted, so I'm just going to go in here so you can see, like, you can move these around. Okay, cool. I'll just move all of these, right? You can see that they are like all the way down the sheet, and all of this remains the same, right? So this is all looking up the exact values that you want. So we'll do a quick QC here. You can see for March 24, the Canada location for Apple is 1354319. Perfect, right? This is working exactly as we want it to. So that's the value of array formula at work, is that it allows you to reference entire ranges or arrays. The one caveat with it is just that you have to make sure that the amounts are equal. So you can sometimes get some errors that arise from array formula. Like if you start in cell 1, 2, but you're referencing all cells from 1 to 1000, that might give you an error. But you know, this video is not about array formula, so I'm not going to belabor it. I think if error is pretty self-explanatory. You can see that if you get an error, if you don't enter in a second argument, it'll just show up blank. If you add a comma, you can denote what you want to have happen. I think the most sophisticated aspect of this is the virtual table construction, which is manifested in the concatenation here, which you're kind of seeing a preview of, as well as the use of the curly bracket array. So what I'm going to do is just kind of give you a demo over here. So if you're entering data into a spreadsheet, you can do something like hello, and then go to the next column and cell, and then go to the next column and cell and enter that value in there. And then you could, go to the next row and do it like that. But what you can also do is leverage an array. So we could do =, curly bracket, and then we could do that same thing. So we're going to do hello, this, comma, double quote, data, double quote, right? And now you can see we have a row in here. And then additionally, if we wanted to, we could use a semicolon, and we could do name is Matt. And now you can see that we've reconstructed this data entry up here. Whereas this data entry exists in 6 cells, this data entry exists in 1 cell. So for example, if I try to delete is, you can see that it's not allowing me to do so. That's because it doesn't actually exist there. It exists in this array. And the way that this array is structured is values that you want to go to the right or left are separated by commas, and new rows are represented by semicolons. So when we are, sorry, wrong column. When we are using this VLOOKUP method, and we're using this concatenated value over here, and then using the comma, what's happening is we are recreating the concatenation of the 3 metadata columns, right? So that's what I'm doing here. So when we concatenate those 3 columns, this is the value that the computer is processing. And if you have experience with any type of spreadsheet logic, you might have come across individuals creating these lookup keys. And they're perfectly fine. But the challenge with creating a lookup key is that most times they need to be hard-coded into the environment. And that can cause complications because if you have a data set that expands or contracts, those columns do not expand and contract with it because they are not part of the data set. They are an augmentation of the data set. So it's my recommendation to leverage logic whenever possible, which means using the conditions of the environment within the environment. So not adding to it, but building with it or growing with it. So instead of us, having to hard code these values so that we can do a lookup, we are using a virtual system, right? So right here, when we highlight this, you can see that that's what's happening here. And then in order for us to accomplish our ultimate goal of the join or the blending of the data, we are leveraging this comma here to create 2 virtual columns, right? Or a virtual table, because we have more than 1 column. So when we attempt to join the data from the amount tab with the data from the inventory tab, what's happening is we are creating a virtual lookup built on the amount data, and then we are creating a virtual table using the inventory data. So in this instance, you can see here that we have 2 columns, which is why we are using column 2 as our index number for the VLOOKUP. So I think that's the long and short of it. I hope that made sense. If you have any questions about it, feel free to reach out in the comments section. My email is linked up in my About section. I love hearing from you, so please reach out if there's anything you need help with. I have more videos like this on my channel page, so if you're interested in learning more about this, that's a place to check out.